Say all's fair in love and war. They say we scar the sky. The closer we get to harmony, there will be no place to hide. The pins and needles in my hands make me feel that it's time to leave, where all that remains of hopelessness and the love remains unseen.
Okay, good evening and welcome to the latest in the Unleashed series of interviews. We are with the final act that we are interviewing for this run. All the acts are playing the new Metal Festival in Wrexham on Friday the 27th and Saturday the 28th of September. And tonight, we are with Grandmaster Flash Edd Case himself.
I shall go to the ball.
So, unfortunately, we weren't recording when we got the visual, the first visual from Edd, looking like this. It was not what I was expecting. But you know what? Ever the showman. Welcome, Edd. How are you doing?
I'm good, man, and I'm actually more surprised that you weren't expecting something like this, to be fair. Come on now. I'm very good. Very good, thank you.
So obviously Frank's going to join us tonight as well, because Frank is another one of our acoustic artists that plays with us. So we thought it'd be nice for him to fire some questions as well that, you know, might come to his head instead of mine. But we're going to start off with, obviously you played a lot of shows for us. You help out with us, especially with the Metal Fest and stuff like that. So just tell us how you got into, you know, playing the guitar, and you know how you decide on what songs you're going to do.
What songs we're going to do for this gig? You mean?
Yeah.
Right, how I got playing the guitar, man. I used to watch my old man play when I was young, and my uncle Arthur used to play a lot. Still actually does. So I sit around watching them guys and pick up on certain chords until I learned 3 chords. I learned the G, D, and C, and I played like knocking on heaven's door all night, and I got right on the nerves. You know what I mean? I got right on their tits. So that's how I learned. That's how I got into it, watching the older folk play. Obviously, I've been into metal and rock forever. So I've always wanted to be a rock star. Never panned out, but you know, I became a cross-dresser instead. So the songs I've got for this gig, I'm actually going to do a bunch of original stuff, because I tend to do, as you know, for Metal Fest, I'll actually mix it up, but I'm entertaining the crowd outside, so I'll just throw a bunch of covers out and stuff like that. But because I'm on the main stage, I've hit the big time. Pardon me, I'm going to do a bunch of original stuff, and I might probably just throw one cover in, you know. So yeah, and naturally I'm going to end that with "Letters Back Home," because it seems to be my swan song. This hat's getting on my tits, man. Sorry. Yeah, "Letters Back Home." I'll end it with "Letters Back Home." Yeah.
So obviously we'll talk about "Letters Back Home" then, because you've been playing that for a long time now, and you mixed it in with your cover sets from basically from the first time I saw you. And it's obviously it's quite a personal song to you because of the way you wrote it. So just tell us a little bit about what went into writing that and your own particular feelings around it.
I actually wrote that, believe it or not, in 3 hours, as I watched. I don't know. Everybody remembers where they were during 9/11, right?
Yeah.
I was sat on the sofa in disbelief, writing that song. That's where it was born, that day.
So obviously, I mean, it is a very, very personal and compelling song. You did tell me a story once how you got a few mixed reactions though, because somebody thought when they heard it that you were an actual squaddy, but you weren't.
Yeah. It's only happened one time, but that one time was enough to kind of, I don't know, hinder me a little bit in where, thinking about where I'm going to actually play that again. The guy asked me if I'd been in the services, and obviously I've not. I'm a storyteller. I tell things how I see it. And he was quite upset with me that I, even though it was bang on, I've had a lot of squaddies come to me and say, it's like you were there, yeah, he's quite upset with me, which obviously I would never want anybody to be upset by. So
it's like this though, Ed, isn't it? That artists, they push the boundaries, don't they? And nothing should be off limits, Like
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tom Hanks was never an astronaut, was he?
I'm sure he's other things.
But yeah, so obviously, I mean, that's the song that everyone's heard. But you've been writing other stuff. So what type of things you've been writing, and how have they been going over life?
As someone once described my set, well, my music, it's a proper lol fest. Because I'm brutally honest about my feelings, and I'll put that into the music. I've suffered with a lot of depression. I've got PTSD. I've suffered terribly with mental health issues for years and years and years. And I put that into the music. And yeah, it's hard hitting, and yeah, it can be sad, but it's quite optimistic at the same time. So it's mainly things that I'm experiencing or have experienced, apart from Let's Back Home, obviously.
So are we going to get them put down on an album and a physical release or a digital release or something like that anytime soon?
I don't know about soon, but I feel like what I do, as you know, is I go out and play the music, and I sing and I entertain people and I make people laugh and things. I feel quite pretentious recording stuff to sell or put out and stuff. I don't know why, because people do it, and it is my art, and I really should, but I feel quite pretentious that I don't know, maybe I feel unworthy, although I know it's good enough. Do you know what I mean? So, well, actually, my partner's moving in at the moment. So we've painted this room, painted this room recently. It's black. I love it. It's as black as our souls. So once I've got a minute, I can sit down and get to writing again and recording properly. So yeah, that's next year. 25 is my year. This is my year already. As you can tell, I'm extremely happy. But 25 for putting something out, I really do want to do it.
So it's definitely something we're going to encourage you to do. Yeah. Because obviously you do a lot of work with us, and we're over the moon that you do. So it's got to work both ways, man. We've got to encourage you the way you encourage us, and we want to do what we can to get you happy, which you obviously are now, or happier. And do you know what? I don't care how pretentious you can be, how pretentious you feel. I once watched Sam Allardyce on the telly hold up the cricket because he sat in front of a sight screen supping a pina colada in a really stupid glass. Now, I just told myself then, nothing will ever be that pretentious, ever. So, you'll never be that pretentious. It's not. I'm not going to just turn around and say, get over yourself and get in there and do it, because there's a lot more strings to it than that. But we will encourage you, and hopefully, let's get this album sorted.
Yeah, Ed, appreciate it.
Do you think? With your influences and that, and with what you listen to, do you go through phases of listening to different kinds of music and artists?
Yeah, I'm extremely eclectic these days. Yeah.
What is it at the moment then?
Well, at the moment it's really aggressive. It's like Rivers of Nihil, Whitechapel, stuff like that. It's extreme metal at the moment, but that can go from old school hip hop to grunge, which has always been my baby. To classic hair bands. I still love classic hair bands and Maiden and stuff like that. But at the moment, it's extreme metal, like Rivers of Nihil. I like bands at the moment that are really pushing the boundaries. Like obviously Raised by Owls too, you know. But bands who are really pushing the boundaries at the minute.
So that's something that's increasingly difficult for bands now because there's not as many boundaries to break as there used to be.
That's
So
that's true.
if you do find a band that can do it in whichever form, it's obviously worth
Yeah,
checking out.
yeah, well, absolutely.
Do you think there's any such
Probably.
thing as well? It's difficult to be original, but who's the most original band you've heard lately? Do you think?
That's really hard. I don't think there's anything that's absolutely bang on, like fresh like that I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
You
it's a
know?
diff. I'd answer the same as you. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm getting to the point now where I think I'm stuck in the past a little bit. Um,
Hmm.
which is why
Yeah,
these gigs are brilliant because these are people who they do it because they love it. Yeah, they're not out to
yeah,
make a shit ton of money. They do it
yeah,
because they love it. The Druids Cross album launch we went to and listening to them, that and Beany had the CD on before, and I was like, do you know what? They sound really good, and it's kind of underrepresented at the minute. Well, certainly maybe in our locality. Um,
yeah.
but I know it'll never happen. But we went to watch type of Negative, yeah, and that just brought it just sent me back in time 25 years,
Was that on the saddle by any chance? Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I missed that.
really
I
good,
missed that.
really
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I missed that. But yeah, I've
So
in the same vein, I've kind of regressed quite a lot. You know, there's not enough bands that are really, you know, messing about with my brain enough So I've gone back.
Well, Frank Zappa in an interview said nowadays, that the record labels they had big, big old fat cigar chomping producers who
Yeah,
I've never heard of Jimi Hendrix. Is he good? Yeah, sign him. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Now it's
yeah,
all kind of manufactured and presented, and it's just a different route. It's like bands are
yeah,
manufactured for the industry rather than someone going to a gig and saying, "Oh, this band deserves a lift up."
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's why I love bands that you guys put on. It's always something fresh. It's
I
always
know
something
Frank
new.
Frank was just saying that he's stuck in the past and that, and we've literally just the previous interview we done was with Devil's Henchmen, and they're talking about releasing an EP
Right.
on a cassette, and it's like,
Oh wow.
wow,
Yes.
it's like that's like, and these are kids, they,
Yeah.
I've got cassettes that are older than them, I've got
Yeah.
underpants that are older than them, so, but yeah, it's mad when you think about it. I mean, for me. Obviously, and we've talked about this at plenty of times over the beer is the influence Iron Maiden have had on us, and obviously you do Iron Maiden as well, don't you? Which goes well. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously a bit darker,
Yeah.
the way you
A lot,
deliver
a
it,
lot softer, a lot slower, obviously. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean it's got kind of a brooding feel to it the way you do it, and you
Mm.
really put your own stamp on it. How
Yeah.
what made you do that?
Well, obviously, see, I've played on the local scene, and I've done pub gigs, yeah, generic pub gigs. I can't stand doing it anymore. Where I've had to pander to the crowd, and obviously you have to. You're getting paid. You've got to do this kind of thing. But when I played like some Country Fest and these new metal days and stuff, I'm playing to my crowd. I'm playing to the people who listen to these songs when I was a kid. Do you know what I mean? So there's things like the Evil That Men Do, which you're talking about there. Danzig's Mother, Love Hate, She's an Angel, things like that. Just so I can get the crowd singing along with them or have a little spark going in their head, go, wow, I remember this tune kind of thing, and hear it in a completely different way, which obviously I'll always put my stamp on a cover because nobody wants to hear the carbon copy. You've heard that. That's another thing. I've had people come up to me and say, oh, it doesn't go like that. Ah, Yeah, no. You know, you gotta make it your own. You gotta put your own stamp on it. It's mine now. You know, it's like what did Trent Reznor say about Johnny Cash's "Hurt"? If Johnny Cash covers your song, it's his song now. Well, not that I'm comparing myself to Johnny Cash, but that Iron Maiden song is mine now. You know, you gotta
There's,
put your own stamp on it.
there's another one you do, which I particularly like the way you do it as well, is Zombie. You
Yeah,
know,
well,
a few times I've shouted it out to you for you to play, and you've looked at me as if I'm a, sod off Beanie. I'll play my
I
own
think
things. But
what it is with that is it that would have been when I played at Petri Fest like 4 times in a day, maybe. And what I'm probably trying to think in my head, I'm trying to communicate with you telepathically is I'll do that one last because it rips my voice out.
all right, okay.
It's one of them. I've got to do Letters Back Home before I do that because I wouldn't be able to manage the chorus on Letters Back Home if I smashed Zombie. After playing 4 times, that is, though. You know, if it was just like, half an hour set, I could do it. But if I'm playing 4 times, man, give me a break.
Well, someone said no rest for the wicked, dude. So uh, we do tend to work it hard.
Yeah,
So something I've been asking most of the bands now is every time we play Wrexham, we've got Wrexham shows and stuff like that. I invite uh, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, as people know as Deadpool and the other one.
yeah.
So, um, have you got any suggestions how we can get them in, or what are you going to do that's going to be so special that they're going to be fools to miss?
Well, I remember that little black and purple number. Yeah, you, you've seen these legs. Do you reckon that'll work?
Well, we'll see.
If not, get him in a headlock. Get him in a headlock and drag him in.
It's always
And tell
worth a go, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah, tell him to bring Will Ferrell too.
He's a bit tall. He'll get in the way. Um,
Yeah.
so, is there anything else you want to talk about, Ed?
Um, pedestrianisation of Norwich City Centre.
You know what? I love that line. I once used that as a pickup line in Lanzarote, and it worked. So, so I tell you, we haven't talked about it's just something we touched on your mental health and stuff like that, but the actual physical health, you did have a bit of a setback a few years ago.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
how are you now in regards to that state?
Right, how many people on average are going to see this video?
3.
Oh, man. Well, those 3 people might not know I had a heart attack. I had a heart attack once, do you know? Mate, I'm in tip-top shape. I'm good. I'm good. I'm looking after myself. I'm eating well. I'm not drinking anymore, apart from, a little celebratory one this evening. Yeah, I'm looking after myself. I'm feeling good. And there's nothing like the love of a good woman to make you feel better too. So yeah, I'm all
There's
good.
nothing like seeing genuine happiness as well, mate.
Yeah,
And
man.
that's the vibes we're picking up off you. And it
Yeah,
doesn't just do you good, mate. It does everyone else good around you. Things are contagious. There's 2 things that are really contagious, more so than COVID: yawning and smiles. Right, the 2 things, mate. And when you see you smile, mate, it's contagious. It makes everyone else. So
yeah,
wish
man.
you continued good health, mate.
Appreciate that very much. Thank you very much.
So if there's nothing else, dude, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, wicked, man. You did?
You
Did you
got.
like me hat?
I loved your hat. I loved your hat. I just wish you'd have said to record it before you came on because you'd have got our reactions. That would have been, a bit good.
where
But
did you get that hat?
This is Amy's hat. This is from what's it called? Big Gay Hats.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
noticed
So
you've
that's
been. Have you been doing stuff with a horror group or something?
yeah. Murder House Productions.
Okay.
We'll get to dress up in horror gear and scare the shit out of people. It's fantastic. Love it. So big up Murder House Productions, go and like and follow their page. We've got a few events coming up over the next couple of months. The last one we had was in Merlin's Bar in Birmingham. It's a horror themed bar, so go and like that page too, Merlin's Bar. Merlin's Bar Cafe Restaurant. Their opening night was not last weekend, the weekend before. Or was it last week? Yeah, no, it was last weekend. Horror themed bar, absolutely stunning place. It's still getting up and running, so yeah, if you're in Birmingham, go check that out. But yeah, Murder House Productions, we've been I've joined forces with them. With Amy. Amy's already get. Sorry?
Tell us a bit about them and if there's any events locally coming up.
Not locally, although there could be in future. Yeah. So yeah, Murder House Productions are basically a bunch of cosplayers, if you like, horror themed stuff, and they go to different events. As I say, we opened Merlin's restaurant, cafe, bar last weekend, and we're all just a bunch of freaks in costume, scaring the shit out of people, and we're loving it. And there's a few events coming up. There's a scare walk in Solihull coming up. There's Merlin's again for Halloween on the 26th. If anyone can get down to that, Birmingham folk, even around. And there's another one. I can't remember what it was. Oh, Masquerade Ball in Birmingham somewhere. But yeah, thoroughly enjoying that at the minute. It's really, really good. Yeah. Give them a like and a follow.
Will do. I mean, we have been seeing your pictures up and down, Facebook and things like that. So those look pretty cool.
Yes, it's so much fun. Ridiculous. So cool. Yeah. You're in Birmingham a bit, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I'm there for work at the moment.
Right.
I'll be there tomorrow, to be honest, but I don't tend to stay over in Birmingham. So when I travel a bit further afield, I stay over.
Yeah.
But I say, if I knew there was something going on and I could plan my work around it, possibly could.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
the Halloween thing though, we've got our own stuff on, so
Ozzy asked me about the 26th, and I said we were in Birmingham. Yeah. But there'll be loads of stuff going on anyway. But hopefully, if Fozzie mentions something about maybe doing a horror night with bands and stuff, and maybe we can get Murder House down for that. So
yeah, it sounds good. That actually sounds like a really good idea, because the horror and metal thing seems to go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
Obviously, Rob Zombie's the poster boy for it, isn't he? But it goes a lot deeper than that, and it does seem to be a culture that overlaps. So, definitely, we'll give that a look.
Yeah. Awesome.
Did you watch? I'm just looking, Frank. Sorry, just to interrupt you for a second. You see, on the video, that picture behind you looks a bit Thomas the Tank Engine-y.
Behind Frank.
Yeah. I know it's my almighty album, but it does look a bit Thomas the Tank Engine in this. But sorry.
Let's carry on.
It's a single.
Okay.
It's one of the singles. So yeah, but Kelly bought it me and framed it. So
awesome.
Go on, Frank. You were saying before I rudely interrupted.
No, I think it'd be a good idea to do something with Murder House Productions, and to be honest with you, you could look at the bands that would suit.
Right. Well, I tell you what. I mean, you could look at somebody like Basement Torture Killing, and that'd be ideal, wouldn't it? Okay. Well, all that's left now is for me to say thank you to Ed and to Frank for joining us tonight, and hopefully we'll see a lot of our friends there on Friday and Saturday, the 27th, 28th of September in XS Wrexham. Thank you very much, gentlemen, especially you, Ed.
Thank you, pal.
And good night.
Hello, I'm Edd Case, and here's some footage of my performance at Metal Fest 2024.
race and running, 'cause I get to you. Ain't no use in praying, God won't see it through. I believe in nothing, so don't believe in me. We all have our sins, baby. Hold on, you will see. I don't want it to make me bleed. No medicine man, it's got what I need, yeah. Everything is so free and easy. Everything is so free and wild. Everything is so free and easy. A pretty one, let me take you for a ride. Don't need no fire to fuel my soul. There's enough bitchin', baby, to do it on its own. And if I get too lazy, I won't need no sword. I couldn't say I believe in nothing when I believe in love. I don't want it to make me bleed. The medicine man has got what I need, yeah. Everything is so free and easy. Everything is so free and wild. Everything is so free and easy. My pretty one, let me take you for a ride. Everything is so free and easy. Everything is so free and wild. Everything is so free and easy. My pretty one, let me take you for a ride. Thank you very much.